Hi, I'm Rolland, and this is my good friend here, Steve Warner, and he has Abundant Life Church, senior pastor, great guy, totally on the move. He's got some things he wants to share with you today, and I'm just going to let Steve talk for a minute here. Steve, share with us, you just got back from a conference, and you know, I'm sure you had your share of conferences, but it's good to hear what the Lord's saying and doing all over. But what is Holy Spirit showing you right now?
We were just in Houston, Texas this past week and had a great time there with a group of believers. And we're really experiencing some amazing things happening with little children. It's like God, for some reason, right now, is fulfilling the prophecy that he promised to Elijah. He said, there's a spirit that's on you, Elijah, that at the last day, I'm going to bring that spirit back. It's going to be the heart of the fathers are going to be turned to the children. The children are going to be turned to the fathers. It's almost like God in heaven is saying, I'll lead the way on this one. I'm going to bring the children up to my heart, and I'm going to start speaking to them and talking to them. And it's been amazing because we've seen little children having revelations, just amazing. They're seeing pictures. It's amazing, these kids, if they sit down with a piece of paper in front of them, every little kid loves to draw. Yeah. And so we're just saying, you know what, if they have an imagination, their imagination is so pure. They've not yet seen all the stuff we've seen. The Bible talks about those that are innocent. And the scriptures, you know, just let us know that God really is loving the innocent. He loves to come near to children and introduce himself early, just like he did to Samuel in the Old Testament, where he came and spoke in the middle of the night, Samuel, Samuel, Samuel. And Eli, the old priest, didn't know what to do with that. Right. He didn't understand that God could visit children. And God's letting us know right now that the heart of the Father is being turned to the children. And the children are being turned to the Father. It's amazing because they're so responsive. And when God starts talking to them, they're like, here I am. What do you want? And whatever you want to do, whatever you want to show me, I'm ready for it. And sometimes we who have been around this for a little while, you know, Rolland, you've been there for a long time, man. And you know, we forget how precious it is and how childlike we just have to be. So God's really showing us. It's really simple. We're just starting to lay pieces of paper out and say, give a kid a crayon. And say, here, have a crayon. Draw a picture. And in this, ask Jesus, who do you think I am? What do I look like in heaven? Because we really believe that our identity is really important. Right. When God comes to Samuel, he says, Samuel. He knew who he was. Yeah. He knew what he was named. And so God knows what we're supposed to be. He created us from the foundations of the world. And up till this time now, he's been trying to develop who we really are. And so as a child, if we can get this across to children, so they can start hearing that at such an early age. Samuel was a guy that anointed kings. He changed the heart of a king to change the nation. Just in this environment, if we can create the kind of environment where we believe that God's going to speak to children. Eli didn't get it. God's saying, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel goes to Eli and says, hey, talk to me. Well, the old priest didn't get it. The old line sometimes doesn't quite get what God's doing in this fresh move. Wow. So now, God's coming along with these little Samuels and saying, hey, let me tell you who you are. Let me show you a picture about what you look like in heaven. And so he starts drawing this picture. You know, he just draws this picture in the heart of a child. In the eyes of a child, God draws a picture. He shows them what it is they look like. They may see themselves as a knight on a white horse, and they may see themselves as somebody who's leading a band of people. Sometimes they'll see themselves with a crown or a sword or a scepter.
So what you're seeing here is that's the fulfillment of Malachi 4:5, where the Lord really is truly restoring fathers back to the hearts of the children and the children back to their fathers, so that there's this atmosphere again where creative things can happen without all the fragmentation that comes through a lot of so-called problems, situations, versus trying to straighten them out. We're listening again to what children are saying and finding out that the Lord is confounding the wise with the simple.
Exactly. It's what he does. He loves to take something really, really simple and just mess with people's minds. And we're just finding he's doing that right now. Can you imagine Eli? Here's this little guy that's been sleeping under the ark in a place he wasn't supposed to be. He was sneaking in there and sleeping at night because the glory was in that place. We got a generation right now that's looking for the glory of God. And when they see it, they know it. And they don't have to have us teach them about it a lot of times.
So we don't have to go to theological seminary?
You know, I love theological seminary. We got a school of ministry in our church.
Wow.
But you know what we're teaching people? Is not to touch the head. We're teaching people to get to the heart.
Right.
Because God's really not into trying to get our heads lined up. He's trying to get our heart lined up first.
Yeah.
And when your heart goes, your heart leads.
Yeah.
So God's trying, through these little children, He's trying to get the heart to lead. I just tell you one little story. When we were at this church, little girl walks in, 2.5 years old, walks into this church. She looks over to the side of the church and she goes, "Daddy, ladder." And Daddy's going, no, honey, that's a light. It was in this church. They had 3 lights shining up on the side of the building. And he said, "No, honey, that's a light." She said, no, Daddy, ladder.
Ladder.
She's 2.5 years old. She doesn't have language. She doesn't know this. So Daddy takes her by the hand and takes her over there and goes, "Honey, this is a light. It's a light." He's trying to teach her what she's seeing. He said, "No, Daddy, ladder." So the little girl looks over to the other place where there's another light over there. She said, "Light, Daddy, ladder." She's seeing this ladder, this prophetic ladder from the Old Testament that angels ascend and descend. She's seeing it set up in this room, and Daddy's trying to talk her out of it. Her father, he loves her enough that he wants her to see this thing. So he goes over and shows her. But God is inviting us through the children. We got to learn to follow.
Wow, man. Seems too simple.
It's too simple.
But we
It's
try to make
amazing.
it. I bless the Lord. Thank you, Steve, for that awesome little nugget there. And we'll have to think on that one and see if we can't listen to what the Lord is saying right now. Really and truly is restoring children again to hear the heart of Christ in this moment too.
Yeah,
Which is
it's amazing.
Christ showing up in his fathers.